Yeah, you probably saw, or you probably experienced that LightWave Fracture just can create bad topology. It does it very often, actually. It's fast, but it creates bad topology, so not a fan. I did a video on how to use Blender instead to fracture stuff, and it works. Blender actually works beautifully when it comes to fracturing. It's actually better than Houdini for some strange reason, or at least it was when I tested it just a few years ago. So I was a bit surprised where that Blender did a better fracturing than Houdini in, I guess that was around the year 2020. So we're not going to use fracture this time. What we're going to do is we're going to use Mike Green's BreakUp. Did I save this object? I don't know. So, and the default here is set to iterations of 5. I've tried setting it to 25, but that just cuts the tree forever. Even at iterations of 10, it just seems to take a very long time. I think on this computer, it would probably take 30 minutes to finish, if it finished at all. So there's a huge difference when it comes to iterations, so you've got to be a bit careful when doing that. Let's just run these default settings and see what happens. Okay, so if you see some bad geometry, then that's just what happened. So sometimes this will do good job, sometimes it will do bad job. The good thing about this is that it's very easy to see when it really didn't manage to do a nice job. So let's just forget about that and do it one more time. And because this application or this LightWave script is using random seed, you will actually get a different result each time you run it. So now you can see it's doing what it should. Then you go like, no, it's not. Got these guys, but that's my fault because I didn't close the object at the bottom. I didn't. You see that this here is an open object. You should not have that. I just wanted to show you what happened if you didn't. But otherwise, this plugin is working as it should this time around. So if it screws up the first time, just run it one more time. You can see it works quite beautifully. So yeah, you gotta close that bottom part. Always do that, and maybe make a pole so you got better geometry. Okay, so now it should run fairly nicely, and we could run into issues, but it's, like I said, it's with MG BreakUp, it's easy to see when it screws up, so you can just bang, run it over again. No big problem. But you got to be very careful when it comes to iterations. You don't want to set that to 10, and you don't want to set it to 25. So I'm a bit like, how much should I push this to? So probably not all that much higher. So you know what? I'm going to set it to 6. So by setting, screw it, I'll set it to 7. By doing that, this script should create a lot more iterations, not like the double, but the quadruple at least. So I haven't really looked into it, but it will create many more breakups. So just be aware of that. You've got to be very careful pushing the iterations above a value of 10. Okay, so now here's the tree, and it's looking very nice. It's looking, and it's very clean. You can use the snapback tool to just fast have a look at if the breakups did a good job, and it did. So like I said, I could go to Blender or Houdini to do this, but if you got the time, then and you don't need tons of objects or parts, then you really should look into Mike Green's BreakUp. Because the LightWave fracture tool is not great. So there are other things I could cover when it comes to this plugin, but I'm just going to leave it at that. So give it a go, and thanks to Mike Green.